Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Yeah. All right. So just getting this up and going. I wanted to go through process of shopping for a replacement or new or used computer, and I want to go through the process I personally use to shop for a computer. So going through some of the basics here, I always look for what my budget is. So my budget is a maximum of $450. I got my YouTube money. I sold a laptop. I got my Amazon money, and so $400 max. That includes shipping and taxes. And now I'm not looking for anything specific other than I'm always looking for something new and interesting to review. But we can go through maybe some of the software we might want to run. So I like playing games from GOG. If we just look into what was I looking at the other day? Oh, Tomb Raider. So I really like Tomb Raider. I have it on my Xbox 360, and so I'm looking to maybe get something to play it. And so if you come to like GOG.com, you can look up specs, minimum specifications, and it's pretty low, honestly, for the specifications for minimum specs, and still pretty low even for recommended specifications for this game. It's a pretty old game though. So, and it's on sale for $3 right now, so pretty good deal, I think. Another software is like DaVinci Resolve. So you can Google it. It gives you some specifications there. That is for their deck. We don't want that. We want that is not what I'm looking for. So finding minimum specs is not always the easiest for some of these things. That's a form. They just have. So we want an Intel i5 Ryzen 5, and you'll want 32 gigs of RAM, which we're not going to have, but we'll see what we can find for our money. So some things that you can do, obviously, we can look at Facebook Marketplace. Now I live somewhere pretty rural, and so I don't have a lot of options in my area, and so I've actually messaged some people on these. Gaming laptop. What do we got here? Tells us. So this is in our price range, but I don't know if this is a good deal or not. But we can look. Craigslist is another option that we can look at. Computers. Let's do a max of $400. We have not a lot of laptops available. Was that an E7270? Hard to tell. And then this one, this is too old. It's not Windows 11 compatible. We want to run some games on Windows, so kind of requirement. We can do a Latitude E7220. What do we say that was? 7270, sorry, 7270. So that's another 6th generation. So that's not something that we want to spend money on right now. So yeah, the marketplace and Craigslist, at least in my area, is pretty bad. You can always go to like the manufacturer's websites of laptops because sometimes they actually have really good sales on stuff. Not always. So if we go to Lenovo's website and we go price, I saw it there. So their options really are Chromebooks at that price range. So we're not going to look there. Another option is a lot of these companies have an outlet or where they sell their refurbished or clearance laptops or other systems. A couple of options here for prices. We have an IdeaPad 1, Pentium Silver. Yeah, there's an i3. That's not what we want. We want something definitely. We want to play a game, so let's see here. There's another i3. i3. Oh, a Ryzen 5 7520 on this IdeaPad Slim. So that's not too bad. Another IdeaPad 1 with a Ryzen 3. We might as well go with the Ryzen 5 unless there's something. See, the problem is right here is the 8 gigs of RAM soldered, and we shouldn't get anything with less than 16 gigs, honestly, because we can't buy more RAM right now because of RAM prices. It'll give us a chance to put in RAM in here. I don't see. Oh, there we go. Yeah, 8 gigs or 4 gigs. So this really isn't an option for us either. Let's go ahead. We'll just take a quick glance at Dell. All right. See what we can get for our money directly on Dell's website. Wait for us to put price in here. I scroll past it again. I'm really good at doing that, scrolling past what I'm looking for. We'll just do price, lowest price. So open. So that's a Chromebook. We don't want Chromebook. Here's another Dell 15. Another Chromebook. Latitude. Yeah, we don't want the Intel N series. It'll aren't going to be enough for us. And this one's too expensive. So let's take a look and see what Dell has here for us. So we could go with a. This technically would be in our price range especially if it has free shipping. This one's out of our price range. We get a 13th gen Core i5, 1334U with 10 cores. Ooh, 120 hertz display. It's only 250 nits, which means it's not going to be very bright. It is full HD, so 1920 by 1080. But it only has Intel UHD graphics, which really is insufficient for what we'd want. So let's take a look at this one. Here's a Ryzen 5 7520U but again, it only has 8 gigs of RAM, and we don't want just 8 gigs. That's not sufficient. And I don't know, with it being LPDDR5, I believe that is all soldered. Yeah, it's soldered and less upgradable. So we do not want LP DDR5, especially with it only being 8 gig. So that rules out Dell as well. Now Dell does have an outlet. HP, we're not going to look at HP's website because I already know that they don't have anything in our price range. And their outlet, I tried looking up their outlet and it just was not very good. So it wasn't very easy to use, and it wasn't very I couldn't tell what I was buying or what I was looking at there. So let's go ahead, let's put on memory 16 gigs, and then we'll do lowest price. All right, so they do have one on here that would fit our price range. It has 60 gigs, full HD, 120. So I believe this is the same as the other laptop, just refurbished, which we're okay with that. Next one up in price, scratch and dent, 16 gigs, but it's just too much money, I think. So this is an option to see what a Dell looks like. Yeah, and it does have an available upgrade slot. So let's click on learn more. Does it say it's DDR4? It looks like it only has one upgrade slot, or does it only have one DIMM? So with Ryzen, only having one RAM slot is kind of a big hit to performance. Is there? But we'll keep this one in our back pocket. Now, when you're looking at these and you're not quite sure what you're looking for, a wiki has been a great resource for a lot of things for me. We have, so I just did a wiki search for ThinkPad P series, and so you have the 14-inch, and so we have the P40 Yoga, and then the P43S and the P14S, Gens 1 through 5. They're now up to Gen 6, so this does need to be updated. 15.6 inch, and then the 16 inch, and then the 17.3 inch. So when you're looking, this is a great way to see kind of when things came out and what order they came in. Obviously, with ThinkPads, it's pretty easy with the Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3s for certain things. ZBook is a little bit harder. Now, I did ZBook and P series and stuff because ThinkPads and ZBooks and stuff are their business class laptops, which tend to have a better build quality. And so I'm hoping that by looking at those, we'll get something that's maybe a little bit better built. The Latitude's kind of a mess because it is both desktop and mobile. And so you really have to dig in here to figure out what you're looking for. So something to keep in mind. So yeah, it's a long wiki entry with a lot of entries on here. So we'll definitely probably be utilizing these as we go to probably my default search option, and that is eBay. And we'll go through some of my options for searching on eBay on here as well. So let's go ahead and take a look. We're going to go to computers. We'll go down to laptops, PC laptops. Now, one thing with searching on eBay is the more parameters you put in, obviously it's going to narrow things down quite significantly. But, and that's both a good thing and a bad thing. So the fewer options you're looking at, the more closely you're going to find something that is the thing you're going to be looking for. But it also actually kind of reduces your options for finding a great deal. So I try to be as open as I can be. Also, a lot of people don't put in very good details about the stuff they're selling. One thing that is important to us is we are going to hit the filter button, and we're going to put in our price. Now, why is it not letting us do? All right, let's actually do screen size first. So it's not liking us having too many options, so it's not going to let us do a better price, I don't think. Let's see here. Will that give us? So there we go, under 350. Okay. So going through just this first list, obviously N200, it's a Intel chip that's too low end for us. We have an Intel Pentium. No, that's not what we're going after, right? So, yeah, 6400's too old. Acer Aspire 1135 G7. So that one might be okay. So we just have two options, or three, the 15 to 17 inch, and then the price. So it looks like we probably need to do some more narrowing on here because our list is a bit too long and it's going to take us a long time to filter through some of this stuff. So one filter I'm going to use, which will narrow things quite significantly and possibly lead us astray here, but I think it might be worth doing, is we want to do graphics processing type. We want dedicated, and we want hybrid, and then we're going to go through and select everything that's specifically put out there. And that should narrow our list quite significantly. All right, and then the next thing we're going to do is we don't want any parts only laptops. So let's go ahead and do condition, show all. We want used, seller refurbished, good refurbished, very good, excellent, certified, open box, and new. All right. Because we're not going to want something that somebody already knows is broken. What is this doing for us? Does it still have the price in there? Does not. So like this is too much money, but that's all right. We'll be okay here. So we have a HP ZBook Firefly with a Core 12, 32 gigs of RAM. So this is a strong contender just because it is got so much RAM in it. I won't have to worry about upgrading that RAM. All right, the ROG's out of price range. This one that's a bit on the older side. I don't think that's what I'd want. Definitely would want something newer. Okay. We don't want Microsoft Surface, I don't think. Well, it has a GeForce GTX. And I set our keyboard. We'll take a look at that one. Ooh, a 1050 Ti with an 8th gen. Dell XPS. Alright, that's too much money. I don't know what that is. That was a Celeron. We don't want that. EliteBook. Oh, that's a Core 2 Duo. That'd be a fun thing to play around. I've had quite a few Core 2 Duo laptops. I'm not wanting to grab one right now. So this HP, oh, that's an older one. See, I want something new enough that I don't have to worry about Windows 11. I know people don't like Windows 11, and I agree with you on that, but it's kind of a pain when I'm trying to review these laptops and push things through. A 1650. So we're actually finding some really great deals here, I think. Might be wrong, but I'm seeing stuff I'm pretty excited to look at here. Some of these graphics cards I'm not so familiar with because they're more of that business class graphics card. That's way too old. I'll just look at a few more here and then we'll look at the ones we've pulled up and kind of go through them. See what we got going on here. $2060. Only 8 gigs of RAM though. That's too much. That's too bad. I've wanted to look in LOQ. Like seriously, here's a one with a 3050. All right. I'm sure this part is really fun for everybody. Let's take a look at some of these. So this one, I think the first one here, I was pretty interested in. Does it say when it was posted? Sometimes they say, sometimes they don't. I don't know why. So what I'm looking here real quick is to see if it comes with a charger, because a lot of these don't come with chargers. Charger and battery included. Sweet. I'm not too worried about the battery. Let's take a look here. That is looking really clean. Obviously, there's a couple of scratches on the lid, but that's not, I'm not seeing any major dents or cracks in these pictures. So I'm not ready to buy this just yet, but I do like it a lot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit it on my watch list. And what this does is it lets the buyer know that I'm interested in it, but I'm not ready to buy it. The number of times where I've put something in my watch list and within 24 hours, 48 hours, I've gotten an offer from the seller of $10, $20, $40 discounted off their asking price. I don't have to negotiate. I don't have to do anything. They just offer me a discount, and I feel like that's a pretty good deal. So we'll do that for now. All right, let's look at some of these other ones we pulled up. So this is an older one. This one might be too old, especially for the price. Yeah, I'm gonna go close that one. I think that's too old. Too expensive. This one is a Legion. Let's see what its graphics card is. I really like Legions a lot. It's kind of the top of my price range. When I say kind of, it is the top of my price range. So because, and this one also, oh, there it is. It has a 3050 Ti. 3050 Ti. And it has 32 gigs of RAM. Like, that's a really good deal, I think. Now, this price, I'm not sure if that's a good price or not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this information and I'm going to open up this in a new tab. I'm going to search for it and see what other ones. So that's an as is. That's a different laptop. That's bidding. That's 0 bids. Let's actually look at, you scroll down here, look at sold items, which is probably the more better number. So this only has 6 gigs of RAM. at $350. So I don't know if you looked at the price of RAM recently, but uh, that kit of RAM alone is worth over $100. So, it's or worth around $100. So that price of this one being $400 is better than this one at 350 because of the cost of the RAM alone. And so the other ones are either parts only or they're more expensive or very similarly priced with less RAM in them. So I'm going to say that's a pretty okay price, but not a great price. So we're going to go ahead and close those. And I'm going to add that to my watch list as well. But I'm actually going to close that window just yet because see this button right here? We'll take a look at that in just a second. Now, these ones are the non-repairable ones. So I think we're going to have to pass. I think that's a yeah. I don't know. I'm going to have to pass on that one. It looks cool. What's this? Dell XPS. Oh yeah, this is way too much money. I like these a lot, but that's just too much money, especially for 50 more bucks. We can get this one. All right, what about this ZBook? This is an older ZBook. They want a lot less money for it. It's not in great condition. Definitely is a bit more used. So I'm going to go ahead and ignore that one. This one. So this one is $100 cheaper, but it's also older. And so does have the 32 gigs of RAM. I'm going to add this one to my watch list. I like the centered keyboard. Maybe if they come back with a really good deal. It's got 18 bucks in shipping though. How much shipping was this? See, it's got $24 in shipping, so that's kind of a kick to the teeth when it comes to shipping. So, what's this one? ZBook Fury, 16 gigs of RAM, which is okay. I'm still leaning towards that Legion. Put that on my watch list though. This is very gamery. Ooh. It's an auction. Unless an auction is almost ended, I usually don't look at auctions because like whatever price you're seeing just isn't. It's 2 more days of bidding. There's already 5 bids. There's going to be some people bidding each other up on that one. Let's see here. We got this Asus TUF. These were not very expensive. It's got a i5. Yeah, this one is no, this is a pass from me. All right. So if we liked this search, one thing you can do is if you come up here, you've changed this, you go to advanced, you can save your search and have it email you the results. What did they do to change that? Yeah, I'm not seeing the option to. Oh, I think what we'd have to do is, so if we search for this, yeah, we can save the search. There we go. So if we were looking for something specific, so say we narrowed it down to this specific model, you can save this search, and then it will email me when there's anytime there's something new. So that way, if you're just not finding exactly what you want, you can narrow this down a bit more. We went through about this search a little bit different by filters, and so it's not really a search we're searching for. But you narrow it down. Let's see if there's anything else that we're finding on here that might interest us. That's too expensive. Let me see. Well, let me do a price. No, it's only doing under 750. eBay search. Sometimes it's really good and sometimes it's really bad. There's a Legion 7 Slim. Oh, it's let's do this. Let's do buy it nows only. So that way we quit looking at those auctions that get my hopes up too much. That's too old. Let's do the under 350 again. Okay. All right, so I'm not seeing anything that's jumping out at me as I scroll through here, and I know I'm scrolling through kind of quick, but I've looked at this so much that I'm pretty used to what I'm looking for here. So this one has make an offer, and so I'm going to do something crazy. I'm just going to offer $200 and see what we get here. Seller declined my offer, so we'll go ahead and make a new offer. Let's go with $300. All right, so I've sent my offer of $300, and it's now in their court of, I don't think I want to spend more than $300 on this. It does come with a charger, which is great. It comes with 32 gigs of RAM, which is excellent. It has a 3050, which Ti, which I think is great, and we'll definitely see what we can get for our YouTube earnings this month for a review laptop. So I haven't had one of these Legion 5s before, so pretty excited to give her a whirl. So yeah, I think now that we've thrown in that offer, we have this one added to our watch list as well. So if we hear back from them, I will let you know. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions. I see a few people watching, but no comments. So nothing to respond to right now. So hope that this is informative to somebody at some point. We'll definitely be following up with a video this coming Friday. So definitely keep an eye out for that. Thank you for watching. Hope you have an amazing day.